There is a kind of suffering that doesn't just hurt your body or your heart, it makes you whisper in the dark. Lord, why do you let me suffer like this? If you're in a season where the pain is real, the reasons feel unclear, and you're tired of pretending you're okay, this morning prayer is for you. As we go, you can quietly whisper, Lord, meet me in this pain today. There are sufferings that hurt the body or the wallet, but there are others that go deeper, shaking the very foundations of your faith. You might be going through something that you simply cannot make sense of, an unexpected diagnosis, a loss that didn't feel like it was at the right time, a rejection that made no sense, or doors that slammed shut even as you were trying your best to obey God. You look at it all, and as much as you try to be strong, inside a question persists. Lord, why do you let me suffer like this? This isn't rebellion. It is pain mixed with a deep love for God. You still believe, but you just don't understand. When this kind of pain isn't brought directly to God, it tends to leak into dangerous places. A silent bitterness, an emotional distance from His presence, constant comparisons with the lives of others, or a haunting sense of abandonment. On the outside, you might keep praying all the right things, but on the inside, you begin to build a secret theology. God takes care of others, but He has forgotten me. If He truly loved me, this wouldn't have happened. Slowly, the suffering that could have been a place of encounter starts becoming the ground of your withdrawal. This prayer exists for a very specific purpose. It isn't to erase the pain, but to prevent the pain from driving you away from God. This is a morning prayer for those who are suffering and don't know why, yet still want the Lord to meet them right there in the middle of it. The goal isn't to promise quick fixes or easy answers. It is to ask, Lord, meet me in this pain today. Don't let this suffering be the place where my heart walks away from you. If you are watching on TV and you feel like this describes exactly where you are, someone who still loves God but is simply tired of suffering without understanding, know that He sees exactly where you are. In a corner of the screen, there is a small QR code. When this prayer is over and you have a quiet moment, you can point your phone at it and go straight to the Still Grace Prayers channel to find other morning prayers that will walk with you, not just on the days of victory, but also on the days of why. For now, the most honest thing you can do is not to silence that question, but to bring it to the right place. Lord, why do you let me suffer like this? I don't understand, but I don't want to suffer far from you. Meet me in this pain today. The Bible does not hide the theme of suffering without answers. On the contrary, its pages are filled with people who suffer and receive no immediate explanation. Job is the most powerful example. A man of integrity who fears God and suddenly loses almost everything. His friends try to give him easy answers, but God does not confirm any of their formulas. Job asks hard questions, he cries out, he laments, and in the end, God reveals Himself, not with a list of reasons, but with His presence and His sovereignty. The book shows that you aren't a weak believer for asking why. You are a human being standing before an infinite God. The Psalms also carry this weight of pain. In Psalm 13 verse 1, David asks, How long, Lord? Will you forget me forever? In Psalm 42, the psalmist says, My tears have been my food, while people mockingly ask, Where is your God? In none of these texts does God tell the person to silence their pain. He records the prayer to show that He can handle sincere questions. In Romans 8 verse 18, Paul says that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. And in verse 28, he reminds us that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. But he says this to people who are already suffering, not to minimize their pain, but to say, your story does not end here. Jesus also encountered people suffering without a clear cause. In John 9, the disciples ask about the man born blind. Who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus responds that it wasn't a direct punishment, but an opportunity for the works of God to be displayed. He doesn't cast blame, He brings purpose. And the psalmist declares in Psalm 34 verse 18, The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. This prayer, then, has a clear biblical purpose, to take the why out of loneliness and bring it into your relationship with God. When you pray, Lord, meet me in this pain today, you aren't pretending the pain is small. You are choosing not to let the lack of an explanation be greater than His presence. You might think, I already pray, I already ask for relief. Why would one more prayer about suffering be important? Because how you position yourself before pain today will shape not only your mood but your heart for the future. Pain without prayer tends to generate three things: false narratives about God, He doesn't care; false narratives about yourself, I am rejected, forgotten, punished; and choices of escape that can hurt you even more: emotional numbing, sin as an escape, or total isolation. This prayer is necessary because it makes three fundamental moves. First, it takes that cry, "Lord, why do you let me suffer like this?" and places it exactly where it needs to be, in the ear of God, not trapped inside your mind. This already changes something, because you stop carrying the fight alone. Second, it helps you ask for more than just relief. It asks for presence. "Lord, meet me in this pain today." This protects your heart from concluding, "I am alone," even when the pain hasn't changed yet. You don't control the timing of the miracle, but you can choose not to walk without Him in the middle of the wait. Third, it opens up space so that the pain isn't just destruction, but a ground for transformation. When you begin to say, "Lord, don't let this pain make me bitter, don't let it drive me away from you, don't let it push me toward things that destroy me," you are asking for something massive, that God would guard your faith while the explanation has yet to come. In practice, this prayer can impact how you react today. Perhaps it will give you the strength not to take out what you don't understand on others. Maybe it will sustain you to do the basic things faithfully, even without energy. Perhaps it will help you say no to a destructive escape, remembering that there is a God who wants to meet you inside the pain, not inside the addiction. Maybe it will be what stops you from turning this suffering into a reason to walk away from your faith. That is why this morning prayer isn't just another beautiful prayer. It is a declaration. I cannot explain this suffering, but I choose to suffer in the presence of God, and not away from Him. If you can, close your eyes now. Bring to mind the specific situation that hurts the most today. Maybe it's something recent, or maybe it's an old wound that never quite healed. Now, let's turn that into prayer. Lord Jesus, I come to you in total honesty. I am suffering, and I don't fully understand why. There are moments when, deep inside, I whisper, "Lord, why do you let me suffer like this?" You know how many times I have tried to be strong, tried not to cry, tried to just keep moving forward. But you know the weight I am carrying, and today I don't want to hide it from you. I surrender to you the suffering I cannot explain, the physical pain that persists, the loss I didn't see coming, the injustices that have occurred, the prayers that seem to have no answer, the doors that closed even when I tried to obey. If I have made wrong choices, show me with love and correct my path. If I am reaping things I don't understand, guard my heart so that I don't conclude that you are indifferent. Lord, I ask you for something very specific. Meet me in this pain today. Don't let this pain be an empty place. Walk with me in the hospital, in the silent house, in the room where I cry alone, in the routine that has become so heavy. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. I ask you, stay close to me now. Speak to me through your word, through a song of praise, through an inner comfort. Even if the suffering doesn't disappear today, let me know that you are here. Protect me from bitterness. Don't let the pain make me hard toward people, cold toward your presence, or cynical toward faith. If there is any place in my heart where I started to believe that you don't care, Lord, confront that lie with your truth. Remind me that the cross has already proven your love for me. Give me the grace to walk through this valley without losing who I am in you. Today, as I breathe and take every step, let this phrase be my prayer. Lord, meet me in this pain today. I don't know how long this will last. I don't have all the answers, but I choose to hold your hand in this exact place where it hurts. In your name, Jesus, I pray. Amen. Before you get up, imagine your pain not as a bottomless pit, but as a valley. Valleys have an entrance, a middle, and an exit. You might not see the exit yet, but God does. Now, imagine Jesus entering that valley, not after everything passes, but right now, while it still hurts. He doesn't come with rehearsed cliches. He comes with His presence. He sits beside you in what you lost, in the question that wasn't answered, in the tear that no one else saw. You can say, Lord, I don't want this suffering to be the only lens through which I see my life. I don't want it to tell me who I am, nor who you are. Today I ask you, find me inside this pain. When it tightens its grip during the day, in a medical test, in a message, in a memory, remind me to breathe deeply and say, Lord, meet me in this pain today. Don't let me go through this alone. If you are watching on TV, remember that dealing with this kind of suffering is a journey. It isn't a single prayer that resolves everything, but a daily walk in the presence of God. That small QR code in the corner of the screen is a discreet invitation. When this prayer ends and you have a quiet moment, you can point your phone at it and reach the Still Grace Prayers channel. There, other morning prayers will accompany you on the days when the pain presses in again, so that you don't have to face these valleys without spiritual company. If you want to mark this moment with a step of faith, you can write in the comments, Lord, meet me in this pain today. It's like placing your decision not to suffer away from Him in writing before God. And throughout the hours when your heart asks again, Lord, why do you let me suffer like this? You can respond with the same phrase we prayed here, I don't know everything, but I know He is with me in this pain right now.